Hello, Karoo and Kaniki. It is, once again, it's Monday, March 3rd, second day of the fast. Karoo, I just watched your videos. I randomly posted the other video a little while ago, which, let me move over here. Let's see, does that keep the glare off my glasses? It does slightly. Um, but yeah, so you could see what the weather was like. I don't know actually what the forecast is, other than today it's warmer again. It's actually it's interesting because the weather station up by the airport, which you know is on top of the hill, says it's practically 50 degrees. I think it's 49 or 50, and here at our house it says it's 40. So we're still recovering from that inversion. Um, so, Karoo, you posted two videos, which I appreciated, both of which. One was aimed at me, and I took notes on that one. I didn't take notes on the one from that was aimed, that was intended primarily for Nikki, but I enjoyed listening to it. Um, First of all, um, the show is going well. It actually runs for 2 weeks. So we did four performances: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we'll do the same this week. And so actually, I don't have rehearsal today and tomorrow, but then we have a pickup rehearsal on Wednesday, and then four more shows. It went really well, actually. I think, interestingly, I enjoyed the performances a lot. I think largely because my role is fairly minor in it. I mean, I'm on stage maybe a third of the time, um, and I have a handful of lines, and I sing a couple songs, and I've got like most of them are ensemble numbers, which is good because it means that I basically didn't have to worry about memorizing a ton of stuff and working really hard on it. Um, Basically, I'm saying I'm lazy. So yeah, it went well. Last night, or yesterday, there was a matinee, and when the second act starts, I'm supposed to be on stage in the middle, um, when the lights come up, and I was late. I didn't make it for various reasons, and I was able to get on and get in position before it caused any problems. So and without actually, I asked Sarah and she didn't even notice. So yeah, but I felt kind of bad because I hate missing cues. I hate letting people down, and I was worried that the director, who's a really nice guy, but very very focused, I was worried he was going to be angry, and he hasn't talked to me, but he may be. Um, so yeah, it's funny because I mean, it didn't affect the play at all, but my biggest concern was that it was going to stress him out. I didn't want to do that. So yeah, the cast members who I made the video with, yeah, they I don't know what they weren't on their game yet. Um, they also actually agreed when I said that they were not on their game. So maybe I'll this week have them do some more videos. As far as putting up video of the play, um, I asked the director Sunday if he'd like me to make some video, and he said no. He wants to make his own, and he actually specifically talked to us about posting stuff from the play online and asked us not to. So I probably won't put up a video of the play unless I get it from him after the fact. He's going to make his own video. So yeah, that's so maybe I'll have something to show you, maybe not. We'll see. You're not missing much. I mean, it's South Pacific. You go online, just search South Pacific, and you watch any video. Um, so you asked about the my cook set a little bit. So the stove is actually made out of that stove in particular was made out of a Coke can. So it wasn't a Red Bull can. I actually ended up making about seven or eight stoves before I settled on that one, and I liked the smaller cans because I just like the smaller diameter, and they're a little bit lighter and everything. But when I actually started putting the cook pot on top of the can, the larger diameter made it more stable. So I went with the bigger Coke cans. So actually, what it is it's the bottom of a Coke can and the top of a Coke can both cut off, and then I have a central ring from one of the smaller Red Bull cans on the inside created an inner wall, and there's little holes around the bottom of that so that the alcohol goes up into that, and then when you light it, the alcohol boils and it comes out of the holes around the outside. When you put it on the lid, then basically it snuffs the flames on the inside part, and then it becomes an efficient cooking and heating machine. That was really unclear, but I don't care. You asked about the fuel heat. Yes, I did buy heat, and it worked really well. And like I said, I don't know. I think I said in the last video, 1 ounce of heat will boil 2 cups of water pretty easily, from what I found. So that's really nice. So and actually the little water bottle that I had in there that I'm going to use as a fuel bottle, I think it holds like 8, maybe 9 ounces. So so that's kind of cool. And the heat, like I said, worked really well. So the coffee tin that I was using there, that did not come with the lid. So I was going to just use the tin that your coffee came in, Crew. But the thing about this other tin is that, and I happen to have one around, is that the ridges on it, because yours doesn't have ridges, it's just flat. The ridges actually measure almost exactly a cup of water. And so that way you don't have to, exactly how much water you've got. So I can put 2 cups in and there's actually 1 ridge and then 2 more ridges, because anyway, it measures, gives you an advantage. So that's why I didn't use your tin. I like your tin. It's cooler looking, but that's permanently on. Actually, I boiled a bunch of water in your tins. I was using that to test the stove, and it worked real well. So the measuring marks made a difference. You talked about Brad and the whole Yamiha and birthday things. Brad was not there because it actually was down here. Linda came down, and actually I missed that as well because I ended up having rehearsal. Our initial rehearsal schedule had that Friday marked as a blank day. And so Sarah said, yeah, come down and we'll do the Yamiha and presents for Taryn and Jesse on that Friday. And so Brittany Carew came down too. And then basically I had to go do music rehearsal. And it was kind of too bad because it was not a very productive rehearsal. I probably could have skipped it and been fine, but yeah, I feel a responsibility to go. So I missed that as well. So Brad was in Pullman. I came home, at 10 o'clock or something, and they were all done. And yeah, I missed it. So that's why I didn't take any video or anything of it. Let me see what we've got here. Trip this summer. I'm going to make a separate video about the trip this summer. The Super Bowl, rewatching the Super Bowl, I'm completely down. Yeah, we already talked about that a little bit, but the thing actually was interesting. You talked about what was the turning point. And, I think that realistically, the second half kickoff return for a touchdown kind of crushed the Broncos' spirits. But I think, more than having a specific turning point, to me, and I think I mentioned this in an earlier video, the thing that I was really impressed with in that match was that Seattle's defense was so good on their fundamentals. So they just didn't miss tackles. They made every single tackle. They wrapped people up. Denver was doing, they were running their offense. They were getting passes out fairly quickly. They were hitting receivers. Peyton Manning's completion ratio was fairly high, but it's just that they count on getting a little more space on their receivers, between their receivers and the deep backs, and having their receivers break some tackles. And it didn't happen. I mean, every time a Denver receiver caught the ball, he just got hammered and wrapped up. And then also, not only that, but often you see, defenders, when they go and they're trying to strip the ball, they miss tackles, but they were going for the strip every time and making the tackle and wrapping up. And that was, I don't know, I just thought that was pretty impressive. I mean, I don't remember seeing a defense play so fundamentally sound. And it wasn't like they were just, I felt like they did all the little things. They weren't spectacular, but they did all the little things. So as a unit, they were spectacular. Anyway, you asked about Caru's med school rejection. Honestly, I think the biggest factor was his age. There's, it's weird because there's a couple things. He got a C in calculus. I don't know if you remember this, but so when he was at the community college, and he took it when he was 16 or 17 or something, and he would have been only like a junior, and he had an A going into the final, and he didn't study, and he actually the professor actually called him or emailed him and said, "Do you want to retake? Because I'll give you the opportunity." And he was like, "No, I don't deserve it," or something. He felt guilty because he hadn't prepared because he thought he knew it all. And so he failed the final and he ended up getting a C in the class. And I think that may have affected his entry into med school. It's weird because I don't know if you remember, I got a C in calculus at community college. And when I applied for an NSF fellowship and they gave us back written feedback, and I got honorable mention, and the one specific comment I got was C in calculus ? And it was like, yeah, I got a C in calculus because I didn't like the teacher and I didn't do the work. But with Carew, I mean, that may have been a factor. But I wouldn't think at all these med schools. But I think primarily it was his age. He's turns 21 tomorrow, and I suspect that they have actuarial tables that tell them the probability of really young people making it through med school, and his test scores are outstanding. His grades are good, not outstanding. I mean, I think he's going to have like a 3.6 GPA or something, but he basically, I think he took a really healthy attitude about his grades in college, and he didn't stress about them, and therefore he didn't do as well as he could have. And I'm perfectly happy with that. But yeah, so if you were asking me, that's what I would say his issues are. Not getting in, but we'll see what happens. So I think that's it. I'm almost at 15 minutes. You mentioned Psycho Killer, great album. Did you watch the video of David Byrne? I don't know if I put a link to it on doing that song live, and he's got like a tape player, and he starts playing just some beats, and then he plays the guitar and sings that song. And I just love that video. I don't know what it is. It's just there's something pure and simple about it. But anyway, if you haven't seen it, let me know and I'll get it up there. So I'll make another video about our trip. I'll talk to you later.